Good evening. Coming to you live from the gym in Sullivan Park. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110 floor Memorial Star Climb for Lieutenant Robert, also known as Bobby Regan, off of ladder 118. Brooklyn's fire under the bridge, housed with engine 205. This climb is dedicated to his wife Donna and children Caitlin and Brendan. So we're just about to get going on that first of 7 verticals for our brother Lieutenant Robert Regan. Again, ladder 118, fire to the bridge. So this week, I'm currently working a 96-hour tour. So this is the first climb of this tour. We'll see how many I'm able to get in on this tour. So, if you remember in the New York Post, the infamous photo, as they called it, the iconic photo of the last ride of ladder 118, taken by Aaron McLam from his window watching over the Brooklyn Bridge with the towers burning in the background and ladder 118 taking that final ride across the bridge before ladder 118's crew got to work at the Marriott. Our brother, Lieutenant Robert Regan, up at ladder 118, along with Agnello, Cherry, Davidson, Vega, and Smith, assisted in saving upward of 900 lives before making that ultimate sacrifice when the towers came down on the World Trade Center Marriott, to which our brothers were in the stairwell, assisting guests and employees out. This climb is now the 4th of 6 for fire into the bridge, ladder 118. This time for Lieutenant Bobby Regan. Already taken up Joseph Agnello, who was actually the first climb of the entire 343 commitment back in August of 2016. And I've taken up Vernon Cherry and Scott Davidson already. The last 2, Smith and Vega, will get there. But right now, for our brother, his wife, Donna, daughter Caitlin, and son Brendan. Your husband and father will never be forgotten. Right now, this climb is given an honor and respect for the sacrifice made on and after 9/11/2001, and that followed in the recovery effort with the end still counting. Those who worked the pile for days, weeks, and months until the recovery was declared complete. Lieutenant Regan was a husband, a father to 2 children who it turned out that his kids had strong minds and shoulders because of their father's influence. His daughter Caitlin became a designer, and his son Brendan, on the article I read, said he was an intern with NBC. But that was about probably 10 years ago when that article was written. So, with honor and respect, each of our brothers is carried symbolically with me to the 110th floor. And right now, Lieutenant Robert Regan off Ladder 118, housed there in Brooklyn with engine 205, fire under the bridge, right by the Brooklyn Bridge, is taking that climb, finishing his footsteps all the way to the very top. Even though they were in the Marriott, assisting upwards of 900 people with the way out, he takes the entire journey to the 110th floor. Dedicated to the FDNY, off and on the line, to Brooklyn's Ladder 118 into 205, fire into the bridge, to his family and our country. This is his memorial climb, taking our brother who joined the FDNY in 1985. Prior to this, he was a civil engineer for 10 years, from what I read. And I said before that last picture taken by Aaron McLam, the last ride of Ladder 118 for Lieutenant Regan and firefighters Sherry Davidson, Vega Smith, and Agnello. Both buildings in the background, both towers, with large columns of smoke. Everybody has to have seen that picture at one point or another. But right now, this is his, carrying our brother, going up to that 110th floor in honor of the sacrifice made so that others could live. Our brothers on Ladder 118 immediately went to work in the stairwell of the World Trade Center Marriott, which was basically smack dab in the middle of the towers. Their bravery and heroism and valor shown on that day helped save the lives of 900 plus people in the Marriott. The overall rescue effort, upwards of 25,000 were saved. This is why we climb. For his children, Caitlin and Brendan, for his wife Donna, for our country, to keep our commitment to never forget, to always remember. Remember, people, it's already 19 years, going towards that 20th year. We still remember their names, their legacies. We will never forget, just the way it is. Pushing them up with honor and respect. Coming to you live from Southern Park, New Mexico in the gym. This is the first of several climbs this week for the 343 commitment. It's still counting. 110th floor of this climb for Lieutenant Robert Bobby Regan. Ladder 118, Husband Engine 205, Brooklyn's fire to the bridge. Getting towards that next vertical to the 7th at the end. Once we reach that 7th, we'll get to the 101st floor. Then it's only a few more floors after that for Lieutenant Bobby Regan, our brother right here. The command officer on 9/11 for ladder 118. Company officer. Taking him up. The fourth brother of 6. Going to that top. Getting about to the close to the halfway mark now. For our brother. A father and a husband. A brother in the fire service. We will never forget the sacrifices made so that others could live. This is why we climb. To tell their stories. To keep their legacies alive. For Lieutenant Regan, fire to the bridge, ladder 118. Last assignment in the stairwell of the Marriott. Upwards of 900 were saved because of the bravery, valor, and heroism that was shown. In the towers, outside the towers, and in the Marriott. That in the rescue effort, followed by the recovery effort. Those who worked the pile on ground zero for days, weeks, and months, sacrificed everything with the contact with the 9/11 illnesses and cancers from working that pile. We will never forget the sacrifices made on and after 9/11, 2001. This is now the 278th climb of 343 down to 65 and counting down. This is why we climb. I was reading an article that it said that Brendan, his son, was involved in baseball, and his father, Lieutenant Regan, was involved in his baseball team, and he used his time off on the fire service, as he called it, to be Mr. Mom, to take care of the kids. For Donna, Caitlin, and Brendan, I promise you, he will never be forgotten. We will climb all over the U.S. and in different parts of the world to remember our brothers, you as the family, and all the sacrifices that have been made. It's just what we do. All right, we made it past the halfway point on this 110 floors for Lieutenant Robert Regan, ladder 118. Most notably, the photograph taken by Aaron McLam showing our brothers crossing the Brooklyn Bridge on ladder 118, going into the towers, and their assignment when they got there on the Marriott, taking them up. Getting there, I believe I looked at it correctly. Our brother was 48 on the time on 9/11. It said that his kids were no longer kids. His daughter was a designer, I believe in Manhattan, and his son Brendan was in an internship with NBC. That he had graduated college and started an internship with NBC. Each and every one going to the top with honor and respect. The sacrifices that were made so that others could live. This is why we climb, to carry them to that 110th floor, pushing them up. Got 2 more verticals following this one. Man, somebody put the heater on in today. Carrying him up. For his family, his wife Donna, daughter Caitlin, and son Brendan. He will never be forgotten. Pushing him all the way up with honor and respect given. Our brother put in 10 years as a civil engineer prior to joining the FDNY in 1985, from what I read. His last assignment, lieutenant on ladder 118, Brooklyn's Fire into the Bridge, housed with into 205. Our brother's last riding to the trade centers with firefighters Agnello, Cherry, Vega Smith, and Davidson, and himself. The 6 from ladder 118. That last ride over the Brooklyn Bridge. Photo taken by Aaron McLam, and it said he was in his office looking out, and that he had previously gone to different stations from what I read. So he kind of knew that the trucks would be coming over, and he saw ladder 118 and he took that photograph. As I said before, I've already had the honor of taking up firefighter Agnello, Davidson, Cherry, and now Lieutenant Regan. Going to that 110th floor with honor and respect for the sacrifices made, for the valor, honor, and bravery that was shown both on and after 9/11/2001 in the recovery following the rescue efforts. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110 floors in memorial to Lieutenant Robert Bobby Regan, Lieutenant on ladder 118, Brooklyn's fire under the bridge, housed with engine 205. Each one another step towards the top. Pushing them up with honor and respect. This is why we climb, to finish their footsteps, to take them all the way. Symbolically carrying them up right now with me to that 110th floor. So their families know they will not just become a name, picture on a wall, but instead their legacies will always be carried forward. Their sacrifices will be known, and their families will always know that we kept our promise, that we kept our commitment to never forget. The worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil, followed by the greatest rescue effort in the United States history, where upwards of 25,000 were saved. This is why we climb. Taking each and every one. As I said before, I'm working a 96-hour shift. This is climb 1 on that 96-hour shift. Depending on how things go, I'm gonna go vertical. Each day if possible. Taking them up. With honor and respect to our brother right here, Lieutenant Robert Bobby Regan, ladder 118, housed with engine 205, Brooklyn's fire under the bridge, literally close to the Brooklyn Bridge. Our brothers made that last journey over that iconic photo by Aaron McLam, who was watching over the Brooklyn Bridge prior to taking that photo. For Lieutenant Regan, firefighters Cherry, Davidson, Vega Smith, and Agnello, you will never be forgotten. You will always be remembered. You're why we climb. 343 and still counting. Why we climb. Just the way it is. Going to that 110th floor to give honor and respect to the sacrifices that were made so that others can live. For his wife Donna, daughter Caitlin, and son Brendan, to know he will never be forgotten. This is why we climb. Pushing each and every brother of the 343 prior to the end, still counting, taking their place. After the initial commitment, God willing, as many as I can go to the top. All right. So now we have officially hit that last vertical at the 101st floor. Taking our brothers to the top of the towers. Almost there. Just 8 floors to go. With honor and respect given for Lieutenant Robert Bobby Regan, daughter 118, company officer on 9/11, 2001. Pushing them up till we reach that top. The 278th climb of 343. 65 brothers left to go. Going there. Our brother got his start in 1985. From what I read, he was 48 years old. And please forgive me if I got that number wrong. Everything's by memorization. Pushing him to the very top of the tower. Our last floor for our brother, Lieutenant Robert Bobby Regan. Uh, 110 floors reached. Rest easy, LT. We got it from here.